Hi, so yes, we're back, and now we're actually here with Chris Rediger from Redefy. So, Chris, please tell us a little bit about what Redefy actually is.
Sure. Yeah, well, we are a technology company that is a brokerage. We're also brokerage by utility. We built a system to make the consumer experience around real estate far better, and it's far more efficient. So we pass the savings along to the customer and charge a much lower fee than typical average fees.
Okay, so when you say you charge a lower fee than the typical fee, can you just break that down a little bit more?
Sure. So on our listings, we charge a flat $3,000 to us, and then we still offer a co-op to the other brokers. Typical market rate co-op.
Okay, awesome. So it's your, it sounds to me like it's quite different to the typical sort of brokerage that we see here in the States, right?
Yes, yes it is.
So, okay, wonderful. So what other models around the world would you say that that's sort of similar to?
Yeah, it's not too dissimilar from your model in Australia. And then there are other discount models out there that are similar to that. They don't quite have the technology chops that we do, but the pricing structure is the same.
Okay. So when you say the technology chops, like, what do you mean by that? Like, let's get into the nitty-gritty.
Yeah. So when we started the company, we realized that there was no good solution to really systematize the selling approach. So we built it, and we've iterated on it for 5 years, and now it's a complete end-to-end suite where the consumer can be interactive. They understand where their file is. They also have a real live broker that they can talk to at any point if they need it, or they can just do it on their own and let the system just follow them and guide them through the process.
Oh wow, okay, that's pretty unique. So is that kind of like Purplebricks? Like, tell us a bit about the differences.
Yeah, so Purplebricks still is a quite manual process.
Okay.
At some point you're going to meet a Purplebricks agent over your kitchen table and shake your hand and do that, and we offer that service too if that's what the consumer wants. But I always like to say a consumer can log onto our site and list their home in 5 minutes in the middle of the night without talking to anybody.
Okay.
I mean, everyone's schedules now is so crazy and all that. Just actually trying to set an appointment, for 2 hours to talk about something, it's cumbersome for some people. So
you're right, but some other people also love that too. So it sounds like you've got an approach for everybody, so to speak. Yeah. So tell us about that sales and marketing kind of process for the sellers.
Yeah. So we are a great, I would say, listing syndicator. I guess that's a little bit jargony, but our listings go everywhere. So the second that you're in our system, we will put the listing on every other portal out there, and 90% of homes are all found on the internet and then driven in. So our homes are marketed as well as any other home that you'd get with a top tier broker, and maybe a little bit more better because we have a lot of internal traffic of people who want to list their properties. So
okay. Yeah. Oh, well, thank you for explaining that. So looking at I guess the future of brokerage, like obviously you see that this is where the future is, but where do you sort of see things going towards the end of this year? Do you think that there'll be more sort of businesses going down your track?
Yeah, I mean, I look at the industry as like a bell curve. Our model fits in the middle 80%, right? You're always going to want a luxury broker to do a luxury property. There's just a different experience with that, and it's relatively unique. But and then there's the low end of the bulk sale and things like that. That takes its own skill set. Ranches take their own skill set, right? But we're right in the middle, the everyday house, and I think that's how the industry is going to be maneuvered over the next year. Is people are going to be able to choose a different option and know that it exists.
So in your business, I mean, tell us about the scale of your business and a little bit more about, I guess, how many team members you have and so forth.
Yeah, so we don't go by agent count.
You don't go by agent count?
Yeah, it's irrelevant to us.
Okay.
All of our agents, most of our agents, I should say, are employees. So we go kind of by geography. We're in 19 states.
19 states?
Yeah. And we sell a lot of houses.
So how many houses did you sell last year?
Around 2,000.
Wow, so that's pretty impressive. And so what does the future look like? What does 2019 look like in terms of your future projections for selling houses?
Well, we're performing to sell 10,000.
Holy
so there's a little bit of growth there.
Yes.
And we tend to go, where there's a need for it. Since we're digital and cloud-based, we don't necessarily need to plant a flag and get an office and then sell around it.
Yeah.
We can spin up the digital presence in any market as long as we see the leading indicators to do that.
Yeah, okay. So this is what I find quite intriguing, because obviously like your model is quite different to typically what we see here in the States, but it's obviously working really well, and you're looking for this growth. So when you're going to be moving so quickly into this kind of growth, like what do you anticipate? Like what sort of steps are you putting in place to make sure that you're able to keep up with this kind of volume?
Right. Well, I mean, the software is scalable, right? So from a kind of a ones and zeros perspective, it's already built and we just have to run the playbook.
Yeah.
But from a kind of team perspective, it's getting the right people on the team and getting good people to execute. And that's really what you have to focus on in growth like that, is just getting the right team.
So your background, tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I started at JP Morgan, and during the crash I left to set up a fund to invest in residential real estate. So in doing that, it's when I realized the broker system was incredibly inefficient and I wasn't going to pay 6% to sell a bunch of houses I bought. So I developed the software at that point and then found an agent who was a broker to facilitate it, and then just iterated from there.
So it was basically through your own personal experience that this all came about.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I had to solve the problem. Yeah.
I love it. So it sounds like that's totally your personality. You're always about solving problems.
Yes.
Well, on that note, I wanted to strap on your seatbelts because I wanted to handle we'll shoot some rapid fire questions at you.
Get ready.
And we are at a tech conference, so they're going to be tech orientated.
Okay.
So tell me, what do you swipe up on?
I don't know what that means.
So when you're looking on Instagram stories or anything like that, is there
gotcha.
something that kind of catches your interest?
Cabins.
Cabins?
I like cabins.
In the woods?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're beautiful pictures. Like I know it's weird, but it's good.
No, not at all. So is that your perfect holiday?
Yes.
Okay, very cool. Awesome. Structure or chaos?
Chaos.
Chaos, okay. Your favorite Instagram filter?
I don't use Instagram.
Oh my God, that is a moment.
I know.
What's your favorite time-wasting app?
Chess.
Chess.
Yeah.
Oh, I just learned how to play that recently, actually, on my honeymoon. It's a pretty cool game. It's always about being 3 steps ahead.
Yeah.
I kind of get it, understanding your background now. Tech gadget that totally rocked your world.
The iPod.
And what about one that promised to do so but didn't?
It's like SodaStream. It's not tech. And I get the thing, like, this is literally a CO2 cartridge. Like, what's going on?
I'll argue that one. What was the last thing you Googled?
Weather in Chicago. I hear it's chilly.
Okay. Your favorite emoji?
The thumbs up.
Thumbs up?
Yeah.
And what's your guilty follow?
Bourbon. Yeah.
I love it. Chris, thank you so much for joining us today.